Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be going over the basic logistics of TeachSTEM and our STEM Explorers programs. These two programs work hand in hand, and as a participant in our TeachSTEM program, you will have the option to run a STEM Explorers program as well. So some basic background information. We are the Young Scientist Academy. We are a youth science nonprofit, and we work in the Cape Fear region of North Carolina and in Moldova, located in Eastern Europe. And our mission is to empower the next generation to be community ambassadors of science and technology. So what does that really mean? How do we make that happen? All of our programs are built on three pillars of learn, teach, and apply STEM. Our Learn STEM programs are immediate student-facing programs. So this includes after-school STEM Explorers clubs, coding camps, programs for refugee youth, community programs that we offer throughout the year, anything where we're directly interfacing with students, getting them hands-on and involved in scientific discovery is a part of our Learn STEM pillar. TeachSTEM is the program that you are involved in. This is where we work with public school teachers. We work with community members to train them in applying some of these hands-on research techniques in their classrooms or in the programs that they lead to get students engaged in doing real-world scientific research. In our public school version of TeachSTEM, we are working with the state standards and trying to elevate those by designing and implementing hands-on research projects that encourage critical thinking and creative problem solving, and really asking the students to apply their knowledge rather than just work on memorization. And then finally, apply STEM is one of our most important pillars here. We believe that everything we do at YSA needs to be communicated with the public. From our youngest students to our oldest students, we are teaching them the foundation of scientific communication, how to engage an audience in a creative way, and our flagship program in our Apply STEM pillar is our Global STEM Ambassadors. This is an older group of students from North Carolina and Moldova that are working on independent research projects that they present each year at our International Youth STEM Summit. This past year, this summit happened in Moldova in Eastern Europe, and this next year it will be happening here in North Carolina. Our students present their research at city council meetings, at the boards for other nonprofits that we partner with, and various venues throughout the community. So Apply STEM is where our students are taking all of the knowledge that they learn and learning how to actually bring it out into the community to make a difference. All of our programs, whether it's a learn, a teach, or an apply program, are based on what we call the YSA way, where we're teaching students to use science as a problem-solving tool. Now, those of you that are science teachers, you'll look at this and you'll say, hey, that's the scientific method. And it is rooted very much in the scientific method, but we place larger emphasis on different areas. So our STEM Explorers program is really rooted in building observation and the questioning skills. So teaching students how to be curious about the world around them. We work on a lot of nature journaling and different observation exercises that we often don't have time to do in the classroom because we have to make sure the students get the content and we can move on to the next standard there. But STEM Explorers is all about slowing down, building students' innate curiosity and allowing them to kind of observe their community and observe the natural world and form some questions about what's happening around them. We work on then taking those questions and forming hypotheses, and then designing an experiment to start getting answers to those questions. Our experiments do not have to be your typical chemistry lab experiments. Oftentimes they could be something done with computer coding. We do a lot of data science analysis, and that works as an experiment or a test. It can be a more traditional lab experiment. We also have students working in the more social sciences world where they are developing and implementing surveys to collect data about their peers and their classmates surrounding their mental health and different issues there. And then finally, the last step of this is the analysis and the communication. So the research that we're doing means nothing if we are not communicating it to the public. Throughout this process, it's despite what it looks like on this slide, we do not teach this as a linear process, right? Students are always bouncing back and forth, especially in these beginning steps of observation through experiment, where if something goes wrong, and often things do go wrong in the experiment, we need to go back to build these observation skills and wonder about what happened, revise our hypothesis, revise our test, and we'll keep moving through this portion until we're ready to communicate what we've learned. So our programs follow this similar progression. As I mentioned, STEM Explorers is focused on building some of these early observation and questioning skills. They do complete a lot of guided research projects where they're learning how to construct a hypothesis, design an experiment, and have different options for their communication. Our Global STEM Ambassadors, with our older students, this is a program for students ages 14 to 18. They're working very independently to design and implement these experiments. So TeachSTEM. So TeachSTEM is our teacher mentorship program, and it consists of hands-on training workshops. So we had one this July, and we will have multiple opportunities for hands-on training workshops throughout the year for you to use some of our equipment, get comfortable with it, share ideas with each other, and kind of build some camaraderie as a cohort. And it's implementing research projects in the classroom. So this is a group of our teachers at a training program in Moldova where we run similar programs that are all learning how to analyze water quality and talking about how they can take the skills that they learned here and turn them into different research projects. What's interesting enough is all of these teachers in this picture are actually all English teachers. So none of them are science teachers. So we really build a cross-curricular focus into this program. And then, of course, there's ongoing mentorship and curriculum support throughout the year. I'll go through the logistics in a moment, but everything that we ask you to do, we will be supporting you through, providing you the mentorship, the curriculum ideas, the resources that you need in order to implement these research projects in your classroom. So here's those logistics. So as a participant in this program, you will receive a $1,000 stipend. $500 will be distributed upon the completion of this training, and then the other $500 will be completed or distributed upon the completion of your fourth research project. I'll go through the research projects a little bit more in depth in our curriculum video. You'll receive access to YSA staff to support implementation. So if you are doing an experiment or an activity in your classroom that would be helpful to have more adult bodies in the room, we do have YSA staff members that can come to your classroom to support you on those days. You'll have access to all of YSA's science curriculum, and I will share that in another video as well. So we will be asking you to design your own projects, but throughout the year, you will have access to our curriculum database that you can use to support the concepts that students need to learn to complete those projects, or if you're just looking for a lesson for a specific standard that you are teaching, you can search our curriculum database that way. You'll receive access to all YSA equipment and supplies. I'll go through that a little bit here of what is available to you in our collection of supplies. And you'll also receive a stipend to spend specifically on those research supplies and classroom equipment. So if you have a research project that you'd like to complete, but you need to order some materials for that, you can work with us at YSA to make sure that we have those materials ordered and ready to use. And then finally, with the hours that you'll complete in this program, you can receive up to 5 CEUs towards your license renewal. So this is the end of just my logistics and introduction slideshow. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about the curriculum expectations as well as the YSA equipment that will be available to you. And then we'll go through a tour of our curriculum database.